Okay, let's set the scene. A guest collapses right there in the lobby. Or maybe a call comes in from a room and the person on the other end can barely breathe. What do you do? What do you really do? Your actions in those first few moments, they can literally be the difference between life and death. This is why knowing this procedure isn't just a good idea. It's absolutely critical for anyone working at the front office. The phone rings. But this isn't for room service or a late checkout. It's a voice filled with panic, with pain. This is that moment, the one all your training is for. It's where your ability to stay calm when everything is chaotic is put to the test. And that's exactly what we're here to talk about. Think of this as your guide, your playbook for navigating that storm. We're going to break down the standard operating procedure, step by step, so you can be that calm, competent person when a guest needs you the most. So, here's our roadmap. We're going to cover 6 key stages. First, what even is a medical emergency? Then, how do you identify one? What's your immediate response? How do you get emergency services involved? Then, the super important part, documentation. And finally, the post-incident follow-up. Let's dive in. All right, first things first. What are we actually talking about when we say medical emergency? Let's get a really clear definition so we're all on the same page. A health emergency is actually a lot broader than you might think. It's not just the absolute worst-case scenario, like a cardiac arrest. Nope, it's any situation that threatens the well-being or life of a guest or a staff member. It could be someone who's unconscious, sure, but it could also be someone who's wide awake but is clearly in serious distress. Any of these should immediately set off alarm bells. And you, at that front desk, you're ground zero. You're the first point of contact almost every single time the call for help comes to you. That means you are the person who kicks off the entire chain reaction that can end up saving a life. You are the start of the solution. Okay, so you're the first point of contact. But how can you be sure that what you're dealing with is a real medical emergency? Let's talk about the different ways these situations usually come to your attention. Well, the alert can come in a few different forms. It might be a direct call, right? A guest describing symptoms like severe pain or having trouble breathing. Or it could be a report from one of your colleagues, like a housekeeper who just saw someone collapse. It might even be another guest running up to your desk for help. Your job is to treat every single one of these reports with the same level of urgency. The second you've identified an emergency, a clock starts ticking, loudly. Those next few seconds are just absolutely crucial. How you act right then and there sets the tone for everything that follows, so getting it right is vital. Let's break down exactly what you need to do. First, and this is the hardest part, stay calm. Your calm is contagious. It can help de-escalate panic for everyone. Second, and this is a big one, do not try to be a doctor. Your role isn't to diagnose what's wrong. That's a fast way to make a huge mistake. Third, stay with the guest, whether that's in person or on the phone, never leave them alone. And finally, immediately inform your duty manager. They are your support system in this. So, you've handled the initial shock, you've alerted your internal team. Now comes the most important job you have, getting professional medical help on the way. And this is all about coordination, clarity, and control. When you pick up that phone to call an ambulance, you become the essential link between the person in distress and the paramedics. You have to paint a clear, quick picture for them to save precious, precious time. So what's your mental checklist for that call? Have this ready. 1. The hotel's full name and address. 2. The exact location, not just the lobby, but the west entrance of the lobby, or room 1204. Be specific. 3. A clear, calm description of what's happening. And 4. Your name and a direct number they can call right back. Having this info ready to go can shave minutes off the response time. So the call is made. Now your on-site team kicks into high gear. This is where you see a real professional team at work. Someone should be at the main entrance, ready to guide the responders. Someone else is holding an elevator just for them. And security, they're already there, creating a calm, private space for the guest and keeping onlookers away. It's like a well-oiled machine. All right, the immediate crisis is being handled. The guest is with the professionals. Now we move into a phase that's less frantic, but just as important, documentation. And trust me, this is not just paperwork. It's a critical record of what happened. Recording everything is so important. You need to log the full incident details in 3 different places: the main hotel log, the security log, and of course, the front office log. Be sure to note the time, every action that was taken, and the names of everyone involved. This creates a complete time-stamped picture, all while, and this is non-negotiable, maintaining strict guest confidentiality.
The emergency might be over, but our job isn't done. The follow-up is where we show the highest level of care and make sure no detail gets missed. Honestly, this is what separates good service from truly great care.
Let's walk through the follow-up steps. First, if it's appropriate, check on the guest's welfare. It shows you genuinely care. Second, make sure the next shift is completely briefed in the handover notes, no surprises. Third, if the guest went to the hospital, try to get those details. Fourth, you'll want to contact the guest's emergency contact. And last, but definitely not least, don't forget your team. These situations are stressful. Check in on your coworkers who are involved. Supporting them is just as important. The difference between a team that's prepared and one that isn't, it's night and day. It's the difference between panic and calm, between total confusion and crystal clarity, and most importantly, between a dangerous delay and life-saving speed. Never, ever underestimate the power you have in that moment. To a guest in crisis, your calm voice and your decisive actions are everything. Your professionalism isn't just about good service, it is a lifeline. So what's the big takeaway here? It really boils down to 4 key commitments. 1, guest safety comes before absolutely everything else. 2, practice making quick, clear decisions. 3, lean on your team and communicate. And 4, maintain that professional calm, no matter how intense the pressure gets. This procedure, it's not just some document you read once and file away. Think of it like a mental muscle. It has to be exercised, ready to go at a moment's notice. Because that readiness, that's what creates a truly safe and caring place for every single person who walks through your doors.